It all started in my 7th grade English class, where we had an assignment to write an essay and turn it into a slideshow on something that was something persuasive. Me being me, I always wanted my parents to buy a Tesla. It was probably like my #1 thing I wanted them to do was to buy a Tesla. As their 3-year Audi lease was coming up, I was like, this is my chance. After lots of convincing, they bought a Tesla. To be specific, a Tesla Model 3 Performance. However, after having this car for over 2 years, my mind has started to change, and if I were to go back and buy another electric car from the beginning, it would definitely not have been a Tesla. So today, I'm going to be explaining why we shouldn't have bought a Tesla. This is Shep's Garage, and I hope all you guys do enjoy this video. If you are new to my channel and you're seeing me on your screen for the very first time, please consider subscribing, drop a like and a comment down below. It would be much appreciated. I want to make YouTube a full-time job when I'm older, and I can't do it without you guys. Now let's get into why we shouldn't have bought a Tesla. Now again, a quick disclaimer, real quick. I am the most die-hard Tesla fanboy out there. All my friends know that, and literally everything I say, everything I say, everything I do is just Tesla. A Tesla is my dream car. I love Tesla. I love the company. I own stock in the company. I have Tesla merchandise. I have every single Tesla model car ever invented. I literally am a die-hard Tesla fan. However, ever so recently, after owning this car for 2 years, I started to reflect on how our experience with owning this car compared to other cars and other sedans out there for the price point as it's at. This is the only car I've noticed and that we've had several issues with, and they're sometimes still ongoing. So real quick, I'm going to go over those issues to explain mainly the overall general concept of why we shouldn't have bought a Tesla. Now, we've owned this car for about 2 years and put 16,000 miles on it. Basically, the spec, it's a 2020 Tesla Model 3 Performance. It's a Performance Stealth, which means it doesn't have like the Performance Appearance package on it, but it has the Performance Battery Pack. So this is not your normal Model 3. This is the highest end of Model 3s. This is the top of the line, every single option you can get. It has the upgraded wheels, it has the upgraded paint, it has the performance upgrade on it. So it is the top most expensive Model 3 you can get. Now, obviously the Model 3 starts at $35,000. After optional extras, this car was almost $60,000. So think about that when I get into this video. Now, let's start off with the looks of the Model 3. I generally do think that this car is very good looking. I think, it's not the best looking car out there, but it is a very nice looking car. Tesla did a very good job with designing this car. The front has a little like kind of Porsche kind of look to it. The sides, I love the lines on the side, how they go across the doors. They're really bold and everything like that. And then coming around to the back, it does look kind of Audi German, it's German kind of look. It's a very nice looking car. Now, my problem with this car is that no matter what model you go, no matter what model you buy, they look all the same. Now, why is this a problem? Well, why is this a problem? Well, again, it's not a problem with our family, it's more of a problem with me, because if you buy a $35,000 Model 3, it's going to look like the exact same as a $60,000 Model 3, which again is kind of unfair. Now, I know why they do this, to streamline production. I get it. They don't have time to fit fake vents all over the car, and I get it. But you think for a $60,000 sedan, it's gonna look a little bit different. Now, other examples of this, for example, with Audi. Audi has the A5 Sportback, right? Now, they also have the S5 Sportback and the RS5 Sportback. The RS5 and the A5 are completely different cars, and you can tell just by how they look side by side. Here's some pictures up on the screen. For a performance Model 3, it would have been nice to have lowered suspension. Even though this one doesn't have the performance upgrade package, just imagine it. It would be nice to have some like lowered suspension of different bumpers, maybe a little lip spoiler, not a carbon fiber one, but like a lip spoiler already attached. Maybe it would have had some different side skirts, maybe different wheel options. So like to make this car more unique, it would have been a lot nicer. To make this car a lot more unique, because again, you're spending 60 grand on it. It should be unique in a way, especially for the fastest model. Okay, so moving on with the stuff that affects me, let's talk about how this car affected our family. Starting off with the cost to repair these. Now, before we bought a Tesla, right, we did no research on how much these cost to repair, and I didn't even do research on how much it costs to repair, because I assumed, oh, it's probably like every normal car. Sure, if you get hit, it costs a lot to repair, but again, it's not going to cost astronomical prices like a Ferrari or a Porsche or a Lamborghini. Well, that's where we were wrong, as that after 2 weeks after we bought the car, this happened. Yeah, it's a shame. We got hit right here. Luckily, we got Sentry Mode footage. Yes, our insurance paid for it. Yes, and yes, it's all fixed now. So basically, we got hit on this side of the rear panel here, and we got scratches on this side of the car right here. So after all of that, it was close to a $5,000 fix, which is ridiculous, because think about it. Yeah, again, you don't get into car accidents very often, but when you do, yes, they're very safe, but the cost to repair these is just astronomical. And again, for the type of car and everything like that, I just don't see those prices to be absolutely worth it. Especially on how long they take compared to normal cars is also ridiculous, because, for example, if we got hit in my mom's Audi Q8, for example, sure, it would take, it would be pretty pricey, but it would take less time. Tesla, since all their body panels they have less body panels for their streamlining and for aerodynamics, since we got hit here, they would have to replace this entire panel since they couldn't bump this out. So you see, that's where the problem is with repairing a Tesla and repairing a car like this class in general. This accident cost so much money that I told my parents about XPEL paint protection film. It basically protects the paint and prevents any major damage or accidents to the paint. Sure, it won't prevent dents or anything, but it will definitely lessen the damage due to the paint being protected by this film. And yes, we got it all around the car. That was around a $3,000 to $5,000 job. We've never had to do that on any of our cars. This is the first one that has had that done, which again is cool and all, but it's also a downside with Tesla in general. Now let's talk about the all-wheel drive system in this car. Now, since we do live in Massachusetts, it does snow a lot during the winter. And because of that, we need all-wheel drive. So every car that we own is all-wheel drive, except the Porsche. The Porsche is rear-wheel drive, we'll get a summer car. So yes, we did get the all-wheel drive model. As you can see, dual motor, which means that there's a motor in the back and a motor in the front, right? Dual motor, all-wheel drive, right? Well, apparently, it isn't all-wheel drive. It's actually really rear-wheel drive. Let me explain. So, when we got our tires rotated by Tesla service, they explained that, like, since this car produces so much instant torque, it's good to rotate the tires. And because of that, the tires have to be rotated. Now, what does that have to do with the all-wheel drive system? Well, basically, explain how the power is sent to the wheels. The power is mainly sent to the rear wheels. The remaining power, after when you're not accelerating, gets sent to the front wheels. This is a definite issue when you don't have all-season tires on, and you're in the snow, because when you're accelerating in the snow, it's a rear-wheel drive car. When you have your foot off the gas, the remaining power goes to the front wheel, so it's all-wheel drive. This is what our Tesla service rep told us. So because of that, we would have to basically get winter tires. Now, this car has gone stuck in our driveway multiple times during the winter, and when I say multiple times, maybe 1 or 2 times. And since it doesn't have all-season tires on, they're Continental Pro Contract tires, which are not all-season tires. They are very thin profile tires. I'm not too sure if these are all-season or not, but I don't think they are because they don't have anything that says they're all-season on them. But because of that, this car really struggles in the snow kind of badly. So, in general, I don't know if that's just the performance model in specific or if that's just the dual motor model in general, but it struggles in the snow badly. So again, coming from an Audi A4 with Quattro all-wheel drive, it is not as good and nowhere near as good. If we wanted it to be as good, we would have to get snow tires, which isn't cheap either. So, when Tesla was thinking of this car, they really thought of California and just California in general, because it's not made for the winter weather at all. Speaking of the winter weather, when it's cold out, like this morning, I'll play a clip if I have one, but here it goes. That one's fine. That one's fine. Those get frozen in with the car, so you have to preheat the car for 40 minutes to get into it, so you can actually open the doors and all the window surrounds are unfrozen, because if you don't, this happens. As you can see, the window has gone scratched because sometimes when you close it, the window doesn't go back up. Like, see how it comes back? You see how it comes down? It doesn't go back up, so it's basically stuck up there. So yeah, that's another bad design flaw. But anyways, onto the interior of this car. And I already warmed it up because it is a whopping 50 degrees out. Alright, so let's talk about, real quick, the battery. Now, the battery on this car, if we come over to, let's see here, there it is. So, if we come to the battery on the car, you can see that it reads 138 miles. Now, when we bought this car, it was a 315 mile range is what it was. Now, if we take a look here at my phone to see what would the charge be today? If I decided to charge it up all the way, what would it be? Now, as you can see, it would be, if you're looking at my phone clearly, that says 271 miles range. So, if we were to charge this car up fully today, it would be 271 miles range. Now, I know all the Tesla people out there that know how to reset this, I did it. I tried it. I tried multiple different ways to reset the range. None of them appeared to work. I've tried them multiple times. None of them appear to work. Raised this to Tesla service, and they just told us that every time the car gets basically used to your features, AC, heated seats, windows down, everything, so it adapts to basically your settings. So this is definitely a design flaw. When this definitely impacts the use of this car when we do big long road trips. That's a big chunk of range that we don't have. So at times we would have to stop places to charge. Now again, that's the whole experience of owning a Tesla, but it's kind of disappointing where you bought a 315 mile range car and then it's down to basically 270 miles. Now let's get into the interior of this car. Now I'll start off a gripe that I have, and then we'll go to how that impacted the use with us owning the car. So, in my opinion, I don't think this is the best built car ever made. And I know Tesla does have, I understand that Tesla does have a big problem with build quality, and I get it. And I finally understand those problems because after 2 years, I've noticed some very interesting build quality problems on our Model 3. First of all, let's talk about the materials in general. Now, most of the surfaces, like the seats and the center console, are mainly nice leather. They're vegan leather. It's not real, but the seats are very comfortable. When you get to the door panels, same thing, this is all padded up here, but it's when you get kind of down further to notice like this stuff, or the headliner, which is extremely cheap, and it doesn't feel very high quality, very $60,000 built car out there. Compared to something else like an Audi A6 that's $60,000, the build quality is a lot better in that. Same thing with the center console. You do have a lot of scratchy plastic, but overall, it's decently built. It's decently built. Say again, headliners and okay, the fit and finish again is sometimes a problem. I mean, this is an issue. I mean, I don't know if the cameras can even pick up this at all because it's getting so dark. Let's see here. There we go. You can see here that like, is the headliner really supposed to be wiggling that much? I don't think so. Another one of these problems is the center console thing here, which again is very nice looking, and I do like the magnetic panels. But because this was originally gloss black, like piano gloss black, it scratched really easily. It got so ugly, in my opinion, that I bought a wood vinyl that I put on for my parents, which again, I do really like the look of. It's definitely a lot better than the scratchy than the gloss piano black plastic that was here, but this issue is now fixed with the new center console, so I don't have no need to complain about this anymore. Now, what I do have a mean to complain about is the back seat in general, and it isn't the overall best back seat of any electric car ever. In my opinion, I think it's definitely I would say it's definitely not the best at all. I think it's definitely probably the worst. Now, the reason why is for a couple reasons. Number one, for a $60,000 car, you have no way to change the AC or the heated seats back here. That's all done at the front. Now, this is, in my opinion, this is definitely a problem, as that is in a $60,000 car. I should have the ability to put my own heated seat on and not have to ask the driver to do it, because sometimes, in some ways, it's very unsafe to do it as well. What if there's only one driver in the car and one person in the back seat? The driver can't do it while it's driving because they're taking their eyes off the road. You kind of see where I'm getting at here. It's not the overall best designed back seat at all. Or isn't the best quality backseat either, because you still have the scratchy stuff, the portable fitted headliner, the scratchy plastic back here, and the poorly fitted door handles, or door panels, which at one point we actually had to replace the clips on a door panel because the door panel was getting to at a point where it was so wiggling. Not this door panel, but the passenger side door panel. Needless to say, let's talk about legroom in the back of the Model 3. Now, since the Model 3's floor is so high up due to the battery, your legs go kind of almost into your chest. It isn't the overall most comfortable back seat either, because I am currently 5'4", and I do have a good amount of headroom with this glass roof, but my legroom where my dad sits, it's good, but it's not enough for me to stretch my legs out all the way. Again, I know this is a small sedan. It isn't a Mercedes S-Class by no means, but compared to another $60,000 car, should be able to have a good, nice sitting back seat. All right, let's end up the video with talking with the last problem with a problem that was probably the worst one with this car, and that was the radio. Now, with the radio, you can change the different stations. So obviously, it has this like slacker radio, so you basically can pick any station you want. It can pick any song you want. You can search it. It's definitely the best radio out there. Definitely the best music system out there. You don't have to ask the driver. It literally has over 40 million songs. It's an awesome system. However, there was a slight problem with the Slacker radio system in this car, and they couldn't have, and thank God it's fixed, and I really hope it doesn't come back. As you can see, like, there are all the different stations here, but for whatever reason, the car would skip the song automatically, like, when we want a certain song. So, right now, it's playing Be Kind by Halsey, so, see? But sometimes, while we were driving, it would just randomly skip. Sometimes it would skip a load of songs without us even touching the screen, which is very annoying. Now, we finally found a Tesla service center that wanted to fix it. First Tesla service center we went to literally could not figure out the fix at all. They literally said it was us, it was our finger skipping the song. They replaced the steering wheel, they replaced the ball. Nothing worked at all. Like, they literally said, to my mom, like, you're gonna have to find a different service center to service this, because we can't do it. And yes, all the work was done under warranty and everything, but fix that went on for over a year with this car, and it was definitely something that in a $60,000 plus car, if we bought like an Audi, another A4, if we bought an A6 or something like that, we wouldn't have had that issue at all. Okay, so overall, these downsides of the car are downsides. Some of them are more major than others, but overall, they are definitely downsides, and it's definitely not have happened on any of other cars, and it's definitely different than any of our other cars. However, I still do think that this is the best car for the money. There's no other car out there that costs $60,000, has 500 horsepower, and can beat a Mercedes C63, which is an $80,000 sedan, off the line. There's no other car that can do it. There's no other car. It is literally the best daily driver for the money. Sure, the panels aren't fitted correctly, and sure, the interior quality is not as good as, for example, an Audi or a BMW or any German rival in general. But overall, those are definitely small problems compared to the German rivals. And it would be nice to own a car at this price point that the interior and everything else reflects the price point of it. You kind of get what I'm getting here. You wanted to reflect the amount of money you paid. And sure, we've paid around 60 grand for this car, and does it look like we paid for around 60 grand for this car? I mean, to some people, yes. To other people, to Tesla gurus, you never know unless you see the badge on the back. You know it is the most expensive one out there. What am I getting at here? So let me just spit all my words out real quick. The Tesla Model 3 for us is an amazing car. If I were to do it again, I would have not have bought a Tesla solely for the reason of that it just isn't, the quality in general, it just isn't worth the money. If we were to do it again, I would have went with some other electric sedan. This is still a very fun car to drive and a very fun car to own. And hey, maybe one day, maybe someday, maybe in the future, maybe next year, we will get rid of it for something different, and we can reflect that how much fun this car was to own. I hope you guys did enjoy this video. I hope you guys did find this video helpful. And I will see you guys. Make sure you subscribe to the channel if you are new, and I will see you guys in about a week, since I'm going on vacation for Thanksgiving. Have a great Thanksgiving, and I will see you guys very soon. Peace.